and I'm back with another video. Today I want to share with you my Friday reads. My Friday reads are where I talk about the books that I finished, the books that I've started, and things that I'm working on in general. Maybe some other things as well if I feel like it. So yeah, let's get into it. This week I am working on, I only finished one book, not that that's bad or anything, and I'm working on 3 pretty chunky books on the side. First up, I finished up A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. This is the first book in the Veronica Speedwell series. I think I talked about that in the previous book as well, previous video, Friday Reads video, and I only had a couple of chapters left of it, and yeah, so I finished it last week, and I really enjoyed my time with it. It's a lot of fun. It's we're following a woman who is sort of into butterflies. She's collecting them, if you will, has very big interest in that. And then we're following a taxidermist, and who is very much into historical animals, stuff like that. And yeah, they're both adventurers in that way. But our female characters, after her aunts passed away, she is on her way back to their home and finds out that someone robbed the place. It looks like that. It's sort of been smashed up, and finds that they're still there, and she is more or less tried to be attacked. But just before that happens, a baron saves her and takes her along to London and says she has to go with him because she's in danger. And reluctantly she believes him because he just saved her life. And she places him in the care of Stoker, who is our main lead character. But not, and then he says she's gonna come back and tell him more about her parents and everything around that, because he knows who she is and stuff. But then the next day, they found out that the Baron is dead, and they think that Stoker is the murderer, but obviously she knows that can't be, and then they are sort of trying to figure out what's going on and hiding away in parts of it as well. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a lot of, it was an interesting book. It was starting a little bit differently than I expected, I think. Because I was setting myself up to it being a mystery. I thought that the mystery would have a bigger part of this whole thing. But it also didn't really start, the mystery solving whodunit thing. It didn't really start until like the halfway point, I would say. Obviously there were some elements of it that you sort of found out along the way, but the first half of it was majority them getting to sort of, they were actually spending a lot of time with the traveling circus of carnival thing. And in that time, they didn't really actually do anything towards the mystery elements. So there was a big chunk of it that didn't follow that. But once I got used to it, I still enjoyed my time with it. And I sort of reset my sort of expectations for it, I guess. But I ended up really enjoying it. It was a solid start to a series. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, so I'm definitely intrigued to read more. I know that there was just one book that was released recently, but I know they're up to like 8-9-ish, I think. I'm not sure about the number of books in the series, but I have access to at least the majority of them on Storytel or Mofibo, which is where I read this from in ebook form. So I'm looking forward to continuing with that. And yeah, so that's the one I finished over the past week. Then I have 3 books that I'm working on. I'm working on an audiobook, an ebook, and a physical book. The physical book that I'm working on is the one that I've been working on like since the beginning of March, no, mid-March probably was when I started it, and that is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I have had other video project going along, so I had sort of to stop a little bit in the middle, but now I'm focusing on trying to finish it by the end of the month, so I have a good chunk to read. I did make decent progress. I don't know where I was last weekend, but I'm on page 623 now. I have over halfway now. Yay for me. Hopefully I'll get a good chunk into this over the weekend. That's my main priority in terms of reading. I'm bringing it along with me to anywhere I'm going. I think it's funny because I've seen a lot of people's reaction or reviews for the first book, and a lot of people are saying that the first bit is super boring because like nothing happens. We're just following a bunch of characters and there's no plot going on. We're just seeing it from like 4 different, I feel like there's been 4 different perspectives. Then there are sort of interludes where you have like 3 different characters that you see things from, but it's 1 chapter before we go on to the next part. And I don't mind. I like sort of just the generic things that happens without any plot going on, just the day-to-day things. I think that's a good fun and good way of getting to know the characters and get to know the feel of the world, even though it's not plot focused at this point. So I don't understand why people find it so boring. I'm actually enjoying my time with it. It's just taking a long time because the font is extremely small. But Brandon Sanderson does write a way that is pretty easy to digest in that, but it's still like the text is pretty small considering a lot of the others. I've just checked some of the other books by Sanderson that I have that are sort of like the Mistborn books, like they're double the size of the font. So it makes sense that I was doubly fast with that one. But I am enjoying my time with it, and hopefully I will only have like 150-ish pages left when I'm done with this weekend. Maybe 200, that would be okay. But I don't want there to be too many pages, otherwise I won't be able to do this. I don't have super much reading time in the evenings after work, obviously, so the majority of reading is going on in my weekends. So we'll see how things goes with that. I don't know where this cut off. But as I was mentioning, I have enjoyed my time with The Way of Kings so far. I definitely don't find it boring or anything, even though there's nothing is happening. I'm enjoying my time with it. I like the writing style. I like getting to know my characters that way. And I'm sure it's going to make sense at some point. So anyway, that was my 2 cents on that. I'm also currently working on an ebook. It's also quite long, actually. This is a Bourbon and Proof by Victoria Wilder. This is the last and final book in the Bourbon Brothers series, and I have read the first, I feel like 21% into it, so I haven't read super much, but at least I made progress. It's 500 pages, I think. I feel like it's a little bit longer than necessary as well, but we'll see how things goes once I'm getting on with it. My thoughts about the book so far is that we're following the oldest brother, who's called Ace, and I don't know why the name is escaping me right now. But our female lead, she has this bar called the Midnight Proof, which is, I guess, why the title is called Bourbon and Proof. Her father is a terrible person, and he is currently captured by the police and is more or less corrupt. And a lot of people are hunting his dad down to get money for things that he promised them, and now they're harassing her for the money because she is a Finch. Which she doesn't really like. Anyway, so I think that's going to be the suspense element, is about her father and the weird people that he associated himself with, because it is a romantic suspense. And I really thought I was going to love this one at first hand, because I have sort of seen them pining in a way towards each other, but without showing it outwards, just the tension between them. But right now, I don't know how much I like Ace, and that is bothering me a little bit. I hope that he redeems himself soon, but I feel like he's a little bit controlling, and I don't really like that. So I hope it's not going to continue like that, because otherwise I think it's going to be fine. I still don't know why I haven't gotten into this one as much as the first book. The first book, I love that. I couldn't stop reading it. This one is a little bit easier for me to put down, but I am hoping that I will end up enjoying it anyway, because I did also enjoy the second one. It's just, they're a bit long, and I would probably prefer, I feel like most romance books will be better if they're only like 350 pages, like the pacing of them. Maybe 400 pages, but 500, I feel like you're stretching it a little too much, because that's just my opinion. Anyway, that is the ebook I'm working on. And finally, I'm also working on an audio of The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. It came in from the library. I think on Saturday or something, and I knew it's like probably a really long audiobook, so I need to get my hands on it so I can get started on it. And it is 545 pages, I think, according to Goodreads. And I think I feel like it was 25 hours, if I'm not mistaken, the full-time audio. And I have listened to about half of it. I think I was 46% when I left from work today, and I had 20 minutes. So I don't know, 48% into the book. I don't know what to say about it. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. I don't know what I don't know. I don't have a big opinion about Joe Abercrombie yet. I've only read is it called Before They Are Hanged? The first one? Or The Blade Itself? Oh. I've only read The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, the first one in the First Law series. And I don't remember a lot of it. It was sort of one I read while I was moving in 2021. And probably had a lot of other things in my mind and couldn't really focus on it. So I definitely know that if I have to start continuing that series, I'll need to read the first one. I don't know how much time I have left to film because my iPhone keeps going off, saying there's no more space on my phone. So I'm trying to sort of save everything to iCloud right now. Anyway, just wanted to let you know the final things. I am sort of okay with The Devils, but I don't know where I'm at right now. It's really long, considering I'm not super loving it. So I'm going to give it a little bit more time just to decide if I like it or if I'm going to continue. But anyway, this was my things that I'm working on over this week. I hope that I will finish The Way of Kings by next week. Probably also, hopefully, the ebook and the audiobook. We'll see if I have 3 finishes next week. It'll be fine if I do, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, this was my final update for today. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books that I was talking about today, and what was your thoughts on them if you did. Please let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know what you're currently working on. It's always fun to hear. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye.